Millions of people consume adult content daily, but few realize the hidden toll. Did you know that 68% of adult content viewers experience decreased relationship satisfaction, while 73% report lower self-esteem? But it doesn't stop there. This habit is literally changing your brain's structure, affecting everything from your focus to your sexual performance. In the next 10 minutes, we'll uncover the shocking ways this seemingly harmless activity is sabotaging your life, and what you can do about it. Stay tuned, because point 7 could be the wake-up call you need. The psychology behind the addiction. Before we dive into the specific ways adult content is impacting your life, let's understand why it's so addictive. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. When we view adult content, our brains release a flood of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter involved in drug addiction. Dr. Valerie Vuan, a neuropsychiatrist at Cambridge University, found that the brain activity of habitual porn users when shown explicit content is remarkably similar to that of drug addicts when shown their drug of choice. This constant flood of dopamine leads to desensitization over time, requiring more extreme content to achieve the same high. This cycle of escalation is what makes adult content so insidious. What starts as occasional viewing can quickly spiral into a compulsive habit that's hard to break. Now, let's explore how this habit is affecting various aspects of your life. 1. The attention drain. You might think that adult content viewing is just a harmless way to unwind, but research tells a different story. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Sex Research found that frequent viewers of adult content reported significantly lower levels of concentration and productivity at work and school. This isn't just about the time spent viewing. The real issue is the lingering mental preoccupation. Dr. Patrick Carnes, a leading expert on sexual addiction, explains that the brain becomes conditioned to seek out sexual content, even when you're trying to focus on other tasks. This constant mental background noise can severely impact your ability to concentrate and be present in your daily life. To illustrate this, consider the case of Tom, a 28-year-old software developer. He found himself constantly distracted at work, his mind wandering to scenes from videos he'd watched the night before. His productivity plummeted, and he nearly lost his job before realizing the root cause of his distraction. 2. The relationship killer. Adult content doesn't just affect your personal productivity, it's also taking a toll on your relationships. A 2017 study by the American Sociological Association found that married individuals who began viewing pornography were twice as likely to be divorced 4 years later compared to those who didn't. But why? Dr. John Gottman, renowned relationship expert, explains that adult content creates unrealistic expectations about sex and intimacy. These skewed expectations lead to disappointment and decreased satisfaction in real-life relationships. Moreover, the secrecy often associated with viewing adult content can erode trust between partners. Sarah, a 35-year-old teacher, shared how her husband's hidden habit led to a breakdown in their communication and intimacy. "I felt like I was competing with these perfect women on screen," she said. "It made me feel inadequate and unloved." 3. The confidence crusher. You might think that viewing adult content is a private matter that doesn't affect your public life, but research suggests otherwise. A 2018 study in the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy found a strong correlation between frequent pornography use and lower self-esteem. This drop in self-confidence isn't just about body image issues, it's also linked to feelings of shame and inadequacy. Dr. Gail Dines, professor of sociology, explains that adult content often portrays unrealistic scenarios and body types, leading viewers to feel inadequate in comparison. This lowered self-esteem can have far-reaching effects. Jake, a 31-year-old sales executive, found that his porn habit was affecting his confidence at work. "I felt like a fraud," he admitted. "How could I confidently lead a team when I felt so ashamed of my private behavior?" 4. The Dopamine Dilemma. Remember how we talked about dopamine earlier? Well, here's where it gets really interesting. A 2014 study in JAMA Psychiatry found that frequent viewers of adult content had less gray matter in the reward circuit of the brain. What does this mean for you? Essentially, your brain's pleasure center is becoming desensitized. Activities that used to bring you joy, like spending time with friends or achieving a goal at work, may start to feel less satisfying. This dopamine dysregulation can lead to a constant state of low-grade dissatisfaction with life. You might find yourself constantly seeking the next high, whether it's through more extreme content or other risky behaviors. 5. The performance paradox. Here's a twist you might not expect. Excessive viewing of adult content can actually lead to sexual dysfunction. A 2016 review in behavioral sciences found a strong link between pornography use and erectile dysfunction in young men. Dr. Gabe Deem, founder of Reboot Nation, explains that this is due to the brain's reward circuitry being rewired to respond more to virtual stimuli than real-life partners. This can lead to a frustrating situation where you're more aroused by screens than by actual intimate encounters. This isn't just affecting men. Women who frequently view adult content report higher rates of sexual dissatisfaction and difficulty reaching orgasm with partners. The real-life experience simply can't compete with the constant novelty and stimulation provided by online content. 6. The empathy erosion. One of the most concerning effects of habitual adult content viewing is its impact on empathy and social connections. A 2019 study in the Journal of Sex Research found that frequent viewers scored lower on tests of emotional intelligence and empathy. Dr. Norman Doidge, author of The Brain That Changes Itself, explains that this is because pornography objectifies people, reducing them to body parts and sexual acts. Over time, this can bleed into how you view people in real life, making it harder to form genuine connections. This empathy erosion can affect all your relationships, not just romantic ones. You might find yourself becoming more cynical, less patient with others, and less able to form deep, meaningful friendships. 7. The time thief. This point might seem obvious, but it's often overlooked. Adult content is stealing your time, and a lot of it. A 2018 survey by Pornhub found that the average visitor spent 10 minutes and 37 seconds on their site per visit. Now, 10 minutes might not seem like much, but consider this. If you're visiting adult sites just once a day, that adds up to over 64 hours per year. That's more than 2.5 days of your life, gone. Imagine what you could achieve with those 64 hours. You could learn a new language, start a side business, or deepen your relationships with loved ones. The opportunity cost of this habit is enormous, and it's one that many people don't fully appreciate until they have reclaimed that time. 8. The escalation effect. Here's where things get really concerning. Over time, many viewers find themselves needing more extreme or niche content to achieve the same level of arousal. This is known as the escalation effect. Dr. Donald Hilton, a neurosurgeon and researcher on pornography addiction, explains that this is due to desensitization in the brain's reward circuit. What once excited you no longer does, leading to a search for more intense stimuli. This escalation can lead viewers down a dark path, potentially exposing them to illegal or unethical content. It's a slippery slope that can have serious legal and psychological consequences. 9. The recovery road. Despite all these negative effects, there's hope. The brain has an incredible ability to heal and rewire itself, a property known as neuroplasticity. By stopping the consumption of adult content, you can begin to reverse many of these effects. Dr. Gary Wilson, author of Your Brain on Porn, has documented numerous cases of people who have successfully overcome their habit and reclaimed their lives. These individuals report improvements in focus, relationships, sexual function, and overall life satisfaction. The road to recovery isn't easy, but it's worth it. It involves replacing the habit with healthier activities, seeking support from loved ones or professionals, and being patient with yourself as your brain heals. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. The fact that you've watched this video to the end shows that you're ready to make a change. You have the power to break free from this habit and create the life you truly desire. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comments section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.